Okay, is it working? All right. My name is Stacey Bright, and I am the help desk lead. Just very recently, I've been the deputy lead, and Dan Coe has been the lead before me, and he is still working closely on help desk, so I should have had his name on the slide here with me for JWST help desk. But first things first, you guys, or I assume most of you did the homework for the help desk. But the only way to access the JWST help desk is via the website jwsthelp.stsci.edu. So if you had used HST in the past, you know that there was an email and also a phone number to access that help desk. But this is the only way to access the web help desk. And you do need a MyST account. And when you before you're logged in, this is the page that you come to, and there's this tiny login button in the corner. We're trying to get that to be bigger and more clear. But you do need a MyST account. I know you all have them, but that's something to remind people that they need in order to access the help desk. The main idea for the help desk is not just to ask us a question, but also to help you find answers in another way that maybe you didn't find on JDocs or something else. So you're able to search in here in this how can we help. You can search for answers via JDocs, and then we have unique articles called knowledge-based articles, which I'll talk about more. We have links, we have news, we have announcements, and then of course you can do the traditional ask us a question. So those are the main kind of three things we want you to get out of the help desk. As I said, you can search for, in here the How Can We Help button. When you start typing, you will see suggestions in there, and you will get knowledge-based articles and JDocs. Skip that page. I put on here that it shows JDocs articles first. That's not true. You do see knowledge-based articles first, and you'll notice that it's a knowledge-based article because it has this little book icon next to it. So here I searched APT MIRI, and I got these unique articles. So how these are different than JDocs and why you might want to use these is there are frequently asked questions. So if a lot of people are asking the same questions, we'll for sure have those on there. We have release notes. We have updates. We have known issues. If we have bugs, things like that, they will be knowledge-based articles for them. And when you search that, that's what you will get first. But if you also then want to see JDocs articles, you can also hit this JDocs Confluence, and that will pull up the JDocs articles. You can search within there. The service catalog basically means where you can then link to ask us the question. But I hope that you find the knowledge-based articles and frequently asked questions useful, and that you can maybe find your answer yourself quickly rather than having to wait for us to respond to you. So hopefully that will work out for you. And then, of course, if you can't find it there or you've been hitting your head, then you hit the little Get Help icon here, and this is where you can start to interact with us. You get to this page of the card catalog, and you have all of these categories to choose from. And the whole point of this is to expedite the process for you to get an answer. So when you pick the right category, it goes directly to those experts, and they see the ticket right away, and they'll be able to answer your question quicker. Of course, if you can't figure out which category it is or something like that, you can choose the general support card, and that will make it go through one extra person to figure out who the right expert is. So that will take a little bit longer to get your question back. So that's the idea for that, is to help us help you. When you do pick your card, in this case I chose ETC support, it is useful to read this information on this page rather than submitting your question right away, because there's little extra useful links that maybe the ETC or the APT or whomever you're talking to has found, like, hey, these are the common things that people are coming to us for. So if you couldn't find them in the search, here are the links here. So we have frequently asked questions, known issue, maybe the video tutorials, maybe you didn't see those before, and then also the JDocs pages. So check out those links too as well, and you might be able to find your answer quickly before submitting a ticket. If you do want to submit a ticket, I still have us here on ETC, and APT is most important to give us as much information as possible about your question so that we can answer you more quickly. So if you're putting in ETC, there are only two things that are required, which are the red stars, and that's whether or not it's proprietary in the subject. But then you can also include your workbook ID numbers. If it's your APT, you can attach your draft proposal, or if you've already submitted it, you can attach the proposal ID number, and also calculation IDs, your session logs. You can give us all that information so that as soon as we get your ticket, we can start working on it straight away. Otherwise, more than likely, we'll have to come back and say, could you attach the proposal of your draft? You know, someone asks a question, I'm doing this in my proposal, and we have no idea where we are in that proposal. And so if you attach those things, it helps us go quicker. For the proprietary information, what that means is that we will try to keep your ticket, your question, to the smallest amount of people as possible. Of course, if the person who gets the question can't answer it because they don't have the expertise, they will go elsewhere in the institute to get an answer. So this is, you tick yes, when we will try to keep it as small as possible. Of course, if you take no, we're not going to then spread it far and wide and make it public or anything like that. But I'm just reminding you that proprietary, we still, if we have to answer your question, we might have to ask other people besides the one help desk person who gets the ticket. Yeah. Once you submit, oh, sorry, here we are. You can also add email addresses of other people to be notified. So this might be if you're working with a grad student and you want them to see it, or you are a grad student and you want your advisor to have it, or say you people on your proposal that you want to have the information. You can add their email addresses, and every single time there's talking back and forth between the Space Telescope Help Desk fulfiller and you, the email will go out to everyone who you want to see it. And also you can add attachments for anything you want. If you have a screenshot of a bug that you're seeing or something like that, you can always add an attachment there.
Is that where they would add an APT file?
You can add an APT file there, yep. Mm-hmm. So once you've submitted your ticket, if you're back here on the website, on the main page or anywhere, you will be able to see my open tickets or my open requests, and also on the main page, you'll see my requests there at the bottom. So it says my open tickets, and that's regardless of whether we've resolved your ticket or not. So we'll say at some point we've resolved your ticket, but you'll still see it, at least for now, we're working on updating this, but you'll see it as listed as my open tickets. And the reason why is because within this ServiceNow platform that we're using, as soon as we resolve and close your ticket, we can no longer talk to you within that ticket. So if you came back and had a follow-up on that question that you thought was resolved, we wouldn't even get a notification of that. And so we want to leave them open so that we can continue to talk with you. We're going to get that sorted soon, so it will say my open tickets and all tickets, meaning all of them, including your resolved ones. But for now, just know when you see my open tickets, even if we resolved it, you'll still see it there. All of this is also sent in an email. It's a little bit clunkier, the email, but there is a link in the email that will send you to here, and then you can log in to your MyST account and see that in here. But you will get email notifications of these things, so you don't have to go back log into this frequently to see if somebody's responded. You'll get an email as soon as somebody responds. But I think it is a nice format here on the website. You kind of can see it in a chat form. It's not as clunky as the website. And you can also see here who is assigned to working on it. So let's say you haven't received a response, but you'll see that somebody is working on it. You know, the agent working on this one is Jessica. And then, of course, if you want to add something after you've already submitted it, you can still add attachments. You can still add people to the watch list. If you add them to the watch list later on, they will only get the future emails. They won't get the past ones. So just keep that in mind as well. Also on the front page is the announcements. This was a question in the homework, but we will put kind of important things here, news releases, new updates, maybe a known issue. This is also really important during the proposal time period. If there is a common problem that people are asking, we will definitely put a knowledge-based article big right there on the announcement. So that might be someplace you always want to check right when you get there is, okay, what's the latest on here? We also have been putting links up to new videos that are coming out, things like that will go here on the announcements page. We also have helpful links. This links to the other help desks, also links to the main JWST page. And these are our announcements, at least as of Friday. There was trouble accessing stsci.edu, for instance, and we had just had it here on the main help desk page. So that was something that people were having problems, and I think I updated that on Friday, a screenshot from Friday. There is also what we call the terms of service for the help desk, and this is expectations for both us as the fulfillers and for you as the users. So as fulfillers, we are aiming to answer you with friendliness and courteousness, and to answer you within 2 business days. So we do not have a full-time dedicated help desk staff that just sits and waits for help desk questions to be answered. We also have other jobs, and so we are aiming to answer you within at least 2 business days, if not before. Of course, if your question is more complex or it's longer, we might have to be talking to a lot more experts in the building, and it might take longer to get resolved, but we will definitely be talking to you at least within those first 2 business days. We do have help desk fulfillers in the audience here. So we have Brian, and we've got Carla, we have Klaus here. Raise your hands. Yeah, so there's some people, but we have probably a core group of about 20 people, and then a lot more experts in the building that we feed from. And so those are who you're actually talking to. So there's real people behind the help desk. And that is something else, part of the terms of service is that when you use the help desk, you are considered a visitor of STSCI. And you are agreeing to abide by the standards of workplace conduct. And you can read all about this on here. But that's just reminding you to be friendly as well, and that we're people working hard on your questions, and especially during proposal time, everybody wants their question right away, and we understand that, and we're going to try to answer you quickly, but there's lots of questions coming in. Also I wanted to talk about if you want to provide some feedback about the help desk, you can use the general card. I actually see all of the questions that come into the general card, so I will see those. Pretty soon we're going to be attaching a survey. Whenever your question gets resolved, you will get a survey link feedback, and so you can always submit feedback in there as well. So if you have anything like that, you can submit it through the help desk as well. We'll talk a little bit about workshop support that Katie and Bill alluded to. I think during your local workshop that you're hosting, we are going to provide you with help desk support. So this will be 2 hours during your session where you can get someone on call. And so we're going to be using the help desk website and the workflow in order to use it. So before your workshop, we will work with you on the time. I know some people are worried about time. We'll work with you to figure out the best time that's going to work within your workshop, and we'll have at least one help desk fulfiller to be there and ready for you. And what we will do is we'll initiate a ticket. So you'll see that ticket under My Open Tickets, or if you can start a ticket as well. And we'll put that under the masterclass catalog, which is the card that you used before to do the practice question. And then it will be one long running chat between us here. So at this time, someone will be there live, and we'll be talking with you in there. And we will be able to answer the main general questions that you have. If you have really specific questions that maybe only an expert can answer, and the fulfiller who's on there with you can't answer that straight away, then they will help you get to submit another ticket or to get to the right person to answer that question. But we'll have that support there for you. And Of course, any time that your participants during your workshop have questions, they can submit to a ticket straight away and maybe get the question back during the workshop, depending on how long your workshop is. But you can also submit at any time during your workshop or before your workshop, of course, but it's just this 2 hours that we want you to know that we have like office hours for you. And on Friday, that's when you'll get more details about how to plan that and when we can figure out your time for that. Okay, so I really do hope that you find the help desk useful and that we can have this new website to interface together and get those questions answered. Yeah, any other questions for now?